Yes, champion of Azura. Trouble is in the air here. Caves. Wonder what's below.
Greetings, Archmage. May I help you, Archmage? Looks like you're still in one piece. And more importantly, so is the book. Thank you. Until next time.
Greetings, Archmage.
Confound it all! This page too! That makes 5 in total. This is unacceptable! Until next time.
May I help you, Archmage? I'll teach you some of what I know, but be careful. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Eleanor, the live will determine if the convention...
Hands to yourself, sneak thief.
Where is... Just leave me alone for now.
Who's there? Is that you, Father? Helgi, but Father says I'm not supposed to talk to strangers. Are you a stranger? You know him? He made my favorite dolly, but I can't find her. Are you sure you aren't a stranger? The smoke woke me up. I was hot and I was scared, so I hid. Then it got cold and dark. I'm not scared anymore. But I'm lonely. Will you play with me? Okay, let's play hide and seek. You find me, and I'll tell you. We have to wait for nighttime, though. The other one is playing too, and she can't come out until then. I can't tell you. She might hear me. She's so close. If you can find me first, I can tell you.
I'm still here.
If you've business with the Jarl, I'd ask that you speak to me first.
The Twilight watches us all, Guardian.
Have you seen my mother? I'm still waiting for her to come home.
Need something? See ya.
Make it quick.
You found me! Layla was trying to find me too, but I'm glad you found me first. Layla was told to burn Mommy and me, but he didn't want to. He wanted to play with me forever and ever. He kissed me on the neck, and I got so cold that the fire didn't even hurt. Layla thought she could take me and keep me, but she can't. I'm all burned up. I'm tired. I'm gonna sleep for a while now.
Layla, she's dead. Ysmir's beard. What the? She's a vampire. She's dead. Layla is dead. It would seem so. Layla, I thought she left to join the Stormcloaks. Oh, my poor Layla. She began to spend a lot of time with Alva. Yet just a week before, she despised her. In fact, the night she disappeared, she was supposed to meet Alva. Alva told me later that she never showed up. I never got to tell her goodbye. You think Alva? But that means... Ye gods! You think Alva is a vampire? No, you're wrong. You must be wrong. Layla may have met her fate out in the marsh. I refuse to believe Alva had anything to do with this. There is no way you can prove it to the Jarl. I hope Alva is not what you think.
Tamriel is full of wisdom and magic, if one is willing to look for it. Few have their eyes open. Is Hrogar innocent or not? So it's true, the traitorous bitch. Morthal owes you a debt. Here, you were promised a reward for solving the crime, but I need one more favor from you. Morthal is still in danger. The journal mentions Movarth, a master vampire I thought was destroyed a century ago. I'll gather together some able-bodied warriors to clean out Movarth's lair. They'll be waiting outside for you to lead them.
If you've business with the Jarl, I'd ask that you speak to me.
I'm still here.
Take us to Movarth's lair.
Take us!
Yeah!
She's dead. Leolette is dead. I want vengeance for my wife. Vengeance for Leolette. We're marching on Movarth's lair, whether you come with us or not. Kill the vampire! Let's kill him!
Destroy him!
Hello, friend.
Most people in Skyrim don't care a diamond. Caves. Wonder what's below.
I'm just a poor man trying to make a living. I'd leave Mortal were it in my power. Aye.
I'm the best warrior in Morthal, and that's no boast.
Oh, this place looks dangerous.
Yeah, kinda scary too.
I'm still here.
It's full of vampires.
Cowards! We must kill the vampires. We have to make them pay.
Of course. But why not let him go in first?
What do you need, Guardian?
This damned war has cost us. Me. Everything.
A new face. Such a welcome sight in dreary old Morthal. Welcome, friend.
Yes. Let me just take this coin purse off your hands for you. And those nice boots you've got there. Now, you just stay here with all your friends, and I'm gonna go get my shovel. What was that?
Can't hide from me.
I'll try and make it.
Mother's calling me. It's time for me to sleep now. I'm so tired. Thank you for making her feel better.
Well met. A fine day to you. Greetings, traveler. How's the weather outside today? Wonderful, I imagine. And isn't that a wonderful thing? To be without complaints? I think it is something worth celebrating. I should know. I used to always complain about how my son would wander off pointlessly without direction. Now that I wander in his stead, I see my folly. For the only way to find yourself is to lose yourself. He is, but only in spirit. My son passed away 10 years ago, wandering around Tamriel. Whenever he left, he always kept a letter on his person, so that if he died, perhaps some kind and gentle soul would deliver the letter to me. He was a gallant Argonian, with horns that were as statuesque as a castle, and scales as brilliant as a gemstone. Oh, I'm sure mothers say that about their children regardless. The clan girls adored him too. Yet for all his stature and bravery, I feared for his safety. Whenever he left on one of his adventures, I implored him to visit the library in Thorn so that he could borrow one of the travel guides on the Empire. He would pat me on the shoulder and laugh. It was a voice so full of energy that it shook my tail. But a pat so gentle could have been a child's. And that's what he'd always be to me. A child. My child. I would worry that without the guide, he'd wander off to some place dangerous or get lost in the wilderness. But I realize now, it wasn't where he was going that bothered me. I just didn't want him to go. Yeah, although my son never pulled away, never ran off in the middle of the night, when he felt the urge to wander, he always told me when. He let me holler and scream, and when I had exhausted all my energy, gave me a kiss and said goodbye, knowing it could have been his last. I was so caught up in the anger over him leaving, I looked past what it really meant. Should he fail to return? My son, though, he could always see forward, even when all I wanted was to go back to the way things were. I was a cynic and a pessimist. But most of all, I was a coward. I would wipe the counters clean 4 times a day, and overcook the food because I feared the meat had parasites. I slept with a candle burning, and never left my hut at night, and dared not brave the rain. I made oceans out of ponds, and mountains out of anthills. I was afraid to live, because I was scared to die. I let the fear consume me, because I didn't want to ever again feel the pain of being left behind. I lost my husband to the Great War. It was so long ago, I forget which side he was on. As if that makes a difference. War makes widows of us all. I once only thought of my own grief, but now I hold dear the time we shared together. I still remember the worry on his face when our son was hatched. He was so beautiful. No, our son. Whenever we open our eyes and see something, it takes a fraction of a second to register in our minds and understand what we're seeing. That's our destiny as mortals. To always look at the past. To always be a fraction of a second behind. They say hounds, on the other hand, can smell things leagues away. They know when a visitor is coming, or if fresh game lies hidden behind the brush. Hounds are always looking at the future. My son was very much the same. While I could think only of the past, he knew this day would come, so he never worried about whether he left on good terms or bad. He knew that we'd find common ground in the end. It's difficult to choose, considering how much there is to love. I love trekking through the Pale, lapping my tail against beds of fresh snow. I love scaling the mountains of the Reach and looking down on the rivers and fords that give life to Lorcan's bones. I made the pilgrimage up the 7,000 steps and watched the sun as it drifted into sea, glazing the sky in layers of magma. I traversed through the fall forest and watched the opera of leaves as they were led across the stage by the autumn wind. And when I look upon it all, I feel nothing but warmth, even when people insist it's so cold. Skyrim was the one place my son had never been, which makes it all the more magical that we can see it together. It would likely be too much of a burden, given how old and frail I am, but I appreciate the concern. Besides, if you were a bandit clan, who would you consider a more appealing target? A sweet old farmer, or a single soldier dressed in iron? Yeah, it'd be quite difficult to take me to the local fence. No, the bandits don't bother me. Some even say hello. Even the wolves tend to be kind to me. They must not like the taste of stale Argonian jerky. Until next time.